This is free time for people.
Exactly. This is
right
what
now.
the patrons are going to get all this.
Okay, got it. There
This
we
is
go.
behind the scenes stuff.
This is special for you.
Exactly.
We're getting like an error on the X. A premium account on X is required to create live broadcasts on their platform.
Oh, there you go. Looks like someone's going to have to fork down some money.
Uh-oh.
They need that check
go
mark.
ahead and
Well, we
remove
should
that.
get the check mark. Vinny should get the check mark anyway to push that account, just to get a further reach.
I hear you. That makes sense. I mean, it makes us look a lot more legit too, right?
It does. You want that beautiful X right there, and unfortunately, the people in Brazil won't be able to see it, but everyone else.
Well, we're probably going to talk shit about that game a little bit, huh?
That was an ugly game, huh? And every aspect of the game.
I mean, it's really a bad look when these teams are slipping all around on the field. I mean, I heard some reporting saying that it sounded like the field was better, like on a different day, like the day before. It was better and it was slipperier on the day. Yeah, that it was easier for them to move around 2 days ago.
But did they just water it down and make it worse?
I don't know. Apparently, it got worse. Apparently, things got worse. I don't know how that works. I guess it's par for the course with the country they're in. So. Alrighty, on that note, let's get this thing rolling, Arch. Howdy, homies, and welcome to the Sunday edition of the Backdoor Cover Podcast. My name is Saxy Maxy, and today is the first Sunday of a new NFL season. All fan bases are full of hope and potential. That is, unless your QB got his ankle rolled up on in the final seconds of a game. Suck it, Packers fans. Joining me for the first week back, he's an oldie but a goodie. It's a man who never surprises me when he's betting on the square not sucker side of a Chiefs game. It's Arch Stanton. Arch, week one off to a good start for your Chiefs, huh?
Yeah, it was fine. They won by a toe.
They won by a toe. They did. I mean, it wasn't just a toe. I did see, obviously, Harbaugh was going to go for two after that, which, would have made things very interesting. How would you like that to have gone? I mean, obviously, it went the right way, but if they had scored the touchdown, I mean, with the what would be your choice there on the road? You go for two with no time on the clock. If you were in Harbaugh's shoes right there, or and try and walk out of there with the win, with a chance to do that right there, you play for overtime.
No, you go for two.
You go for two.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, do you want to? I think we do this all the time. But I mean, how do you want to win the game? Do you want to win the game with the ball in your hands and try and going for two, or do you want to hang back and see what Patrick Mahomes does with the ball?
Exactly. Well, I think that obviously you don't want to give Patrick Mahomes the ball back. 100% right choice there for the Ravens to go for two. Let's talk about the other game. We were touching on it in the live look-in pre-show, if you will call it that. That we were just talking about how in the second game with the Packers technically visiting the Eagles, everyone visiting Brazil. It was a bit of a mess of a game, kind of sloppy looking overall. Was that your major takeaway from the game? Is that games in Brazil or on soccer surfaces are just flat out sloppy?
I mean, I think there's a bunch of things going on, right? I mean, it's week one, so it's going to be sloppy. Even the Chiefs and Ravens both look sloppy in their play.
Oh yeah.
But then you put it on that shit field, and then it's just a recipe for disaster. I mean, man, I think Green Bay walks away with that game going, what the hell? Like, Love is hurt. We lost the game when we arguably shouldn't have. We had so many opportunities. Green Bay just needs to forget about that one. Just get home and get right.
Well, Green Bay is going to have a tough time forgetting about that one when, Jordan Love turned into Malik Neighbors for the very last snap, and Jordan Love is going to be Malik Neighbors for probably the next few weeks. I don't know how I mean, I'll be completely honest. A lot of seasons and team seasons can be blown up by just a singular quarterback injury, speaking from experience. So regardless, I'm coming away from this one thinking, Packers, if they're going to miss him for a whole 3 weeks, how much does that really kill team's playoff chances right out the gate in the season? You think that this Packers team is the kind of one that can bounce back, stay in it? They have an opportunity, to still make a lot of noise and action in the NFC, because obviously I think they were clearly earmarked to, at minimum, be a wild card team here.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, they play the Colts next, right? And the Titans after that, and the Vikings. Yeah, I mean, I definitely can see a scenario where they can win at least one of those games, maybe two.
I think at least one. I think at least one of those games, even with Malik Neighbors at quarterback. Now, one of the greatest indictments of a team is not having a backup plan at all. I'll be completely honest. This seems a little bit like a not having a backup plan, almost having a Malik Neighbors in there. What's your takeaway there? I mean, and who's Patrick Mahomes' backup? Remind me.
I don't remember off the top of my head right now. I don't remember. I've blocked it from my mind. I don't know who it is.
Well, that person's only going to get some playing time when your Chiefs are up, 40 in the third or something like that.
Right, and then we can say that it's not so bad.
I know, right? All right. Well, do you know who it is?
I know. I know who it is. I know who it is.
I just looked it up.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. He who shall not be named.
Right. We don't say that name.
I know. We really, it's a name that causes too much consternation within our internal betting group. So we can't even go there to the Chiefs backup zone. But you know what? Let's go to a different zone. Let's talk about some anytime touchdowns today, Arch. I wanted to first up, I have a boost that I got for an anytime touchdown bet. Anytime. So now we've been in the book club. We have been making hay. When I say we, I mean Eggburger has been doing a great job of, and I'm guessing that Phil has been involved in this as well, but making some immensely smart picks, picking the first touchdown score in actually the first 2 games of the season so far.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unbelievable. Both, it was plus 500, plus 600 on both of them, something like that. It was easily 5 or 6 to 1 on those guys. And we cashed both of them. We cashed both of them. So we're already kind of playing with some house money here. So looking at this, I have an anytime touchdown bet boost. And I wanted to kind of look through that a little bit this week, Art. So, because it's week 1 of the season, you kind of want to ask yourself who's most likely to get a touchdown this week. But who are the shortest odds, folks? Here's what I found: David Montgomery's at minus 135, Jahmyr Gibbs minus 125, Kyron Williams minus 120, Amon-Ra St. Brown minus 110. That's all in one game. Those players are all in one game. Christian McCaffrey's minus 175, Bijan is minus 115, Tyreek is minus 120, Jonathan Taylor minus 115. Josh Allen is minus 110, and Kenneth Walker is even money. So that's kind of like your ish top 10 kind of like, most likely to score this week. Now, just because the odds makers have put them there doesn't mean that that's what's going to happen, right? So with those numbers in mind, are there any folks on that list or otherwise that you think are going to be force-fed the ball in scoring situations specifically this week?
Oh, man, this I'm not the props guy. I bet one prop so far. That's it. And
okay.
Yeah.
Which prop was that?
Oh, that was our man to get over this 16.5 yards.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Was it 16 or 17? What was the number?
Yeah, I think it was 16 and a half, but I don't think you had any trouble crushing that, right?
No, it was one catch, boom, done, move on.
Exactly. I'm trying to look through here and see if I can go find your past or find that guy. But regardless, so I know that you don't break that down that much, but here's what I'm kind of thinking. Okay, we got some players on new teams, right? We got some people who maybe with a new look maybe are going to be getting the ball or be complaining about getting the ball. Now, here's where I found some value. I think Stephon Diggs is plus 190 to get a touchdown this week. Okay, so almost 2 to 1 odds, and with the boost, you're going to get it near 250 here. It's a 50% odds boost on FanDuel. He's on a new team with CJ Stroud, and given Stephon Diggs' whiny bitch diva wide receiver attitude, I really think that he's going to get the ball, or at least be force-fed the ball near the. I think he has a decent opportunity. He's going to get his shot, is what I'm saying. They're gonna have to give him a couple of shots. With a new quarterback who is really solid in CJ Stroud, I think that at plus 190, I mean I'm not hating this, especially once I again said it boosted it up. I think it was to plus 136 or 236 was the number that I got it at. So at around there, Arch, what do you think about that bet? Do you have anyone else who's like maybe new look, someone who you like to kind of for sure get a touchdown this week?
As you lay that case out, I really like that idea. Yeah, you're right. Not him. You don't want to make him mad. Of all the people,
right?
Yeah,
right.
Keep him happy. Jesus,
exactly. And so at 2 to 1 odds, I'm thinking he's going to at least get some shots. And if he's going to get some shots, I mean, he's going to make the best of the opportunities that he gets with a solid quarterback in CJ Stroud. I think that this is a reasonable place to be betting on an anytime touchdown. Stephon Diggs plus 190. I like it there, but I mean, with my boost, I like it even more. So,
all right, excellent.
All righty. Very good. Well, I got another one that I'm kind of looking at here.
Hey, Remy says, "Hi, I'm Remy. I sub to you and like. Thank you so much."
Hey, my bro Remy, thank you for coming on out and saying hello. We are live right now on YouTube. We're also live on Twitch. Maybe we'll be live on X one day.
We got to
But
talk to
regardless,
upper management if we can go live on X.
I know. Yeah. Well, I'll be honest. I'm not a huge fan of some of Elon Musk's automobile related decisions and things like that. So I don't know. I don't know how much I feel about that. Maybe we should go to what's the one where people just commit crimes on it live? Rumble. Let's go to that one.
They commit crimes on it live? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, no, it's a platform for just live committing crimes. Rumble. That's the one. Maybe you'll find us. I mean, some of the bets that I'm about to make might be considered crimes in some countries. So we'll see if this stream is.
Can we rename the podcast to Saxy Maxy's Crimes Against Humanity? Is that
gambling crimes against humanity? Oh my God, yeah, that may be a little bit more right. But listen, I feel like we're on the right side of Stefan Diggs. Here comes my real atrocity. Here comes a real scary one for you. I want to talk about the Chargers, Arch, a little bit before we go too far. I do too. You do too. Okay. Well, why don't you open us up? Talk to me about the Chargers. How do you feel about the Chargers?
I don't love the Chargers. I like the Chargers. I think they're going to be improved from what we've seen. But right now, last I saw, they were 3. Is that correct? -3.
Yep.
They're going to cover. I want a piece of the Chargers. It's not so much an endorsement on the Chargers as an indictment on the Raiders.
Okay, you're just right now hopping on Chargers -3 because now this is in addition to some of the other lines that you'd hopped on earlier this week, right? Let me see here. Looks like you had 49ers -3.5. You could catch them at. You can still get them there. Commanders +3.5. Still get that. And what is it? Cowboys +2.5. So Chargers -3 on top of that. This is let's see here. The second favorite team that you're taking.
Yeah, I know.
Tell me how you got to this. Tell me how you got to this decision. I mean, they're playing against the Raiders, so I mean that's a decent starting place, right?
Yeah, that's where you start. Like, I don't believe in the Raiders.
Okay.
I do think that. I mean, obviously, week 1 is a lot of guesswork, even more so than a normal week. So, but I do think with the Chargers being improved, I think they're going to be an improved team. And I don't know that the Raiders are going to be that much more improved. So, really, it's just more of a gut shot. I think the Chargers are going to win cover. I'm doing it.
You're taking it. You're loving those Chargers. Well, actually, I have some other thoughts about the Chargers futures, the Chargers long term that I want to kind of talk about here.
We're talking about today.
Hey, listen, I'm fine talking about the Chargers today. I like them today too. And actually, we're gonna talk about the Chargers playing today a little bit later in a second with kind of my second bet that I like on the Chargers here. But I got a couple futures that I'm looking at. First off, Chargers to make the playoffs. Yes, +128. It's on the right side. At least the side that we like, the plus money side. What do you think about that one?
I like it. I don't love it. I like it. Yeah.
Okay. I know that the Chargers historically have found creative and new ways to miss the playoffs. And but I think this year, again, new head coach who has a history of improving what previous coaching staffs couldn't improve upon. I think they find a way to get over the hump and make it into the playoffs. And part of doing that is consistently winning. And so here's one that I got for you, Arch. I know you like the Chargers to cover today. I mean,
yes, I do.
They're favored. They're going to win the game then, right?
Well, can we say that?
Covering.
Oh, if they're covering. I thought, okay, I misunderstood. Yes. They're going to win. They're going to cover. Yeah.
They're going to win. They're going to win. Yeah. They're going to win the game at minimum. Here's a little more of a spicy meatball for you. Chargers schedule for the first 5. Raiders at home. Panthers on the road. Steelers on the road. Chiefs at home. That's the toughie. But then Broncos on the road. Not the easiest way to begin with all those 3 division opponents right in there, but Chargers to start the season 5-0. I got that at +1,200.
Oh.
Little spicy, but
it's a lot spicy.
It's a lot spicy. Okay, you're thinking it's a lot spicy. Is it too spicy for you? Is this non-palatably spicy?
It's a little too spicy for the pepper.
Okay. I mean, I was thinking about just, having some fun, dropping 1/10 of a unit on this guy since that'll, pay me back past, a full unit. So I think I'm about that one. Is that about what you would put on this, if anything, or are you not even touching this one? You're staying the hell away from this.
I'm staying the hell away from this one. I still think with new coach, I still think they might stumble on one of these games, and that worries me. I'm not even fixated on Kansas City. Their sole focus will be beating Kansas City. I'm more worried about them. What's their focus like when playing the Broncos or something like that? Which I think the Broncos. Who knows? Who knows what they're going to look like?
That's a very interesting point you have right there. Broncos are going to be a very interesting team this season. The team that I'm like, all surrounded by here, the nuts for. It seems like there's a lot of positivity surrounding this team, surrounding the new quarterback, rookie quarterback who is a captain here. I think that there's a lot of positivity surrounding the team, and year one is kind of with a new coach, new system. Kind of feels like, all right, we're figuring things out. We're kind of going to weed out the shits and the stuff that I was kind of the cards that I was dealt, more or less. Year two is more about kind of meeting expectations, I would say, when it comes to new coaching staff and new setups here. I think that there's an expectation to win more games they did last season, but beyond that, to really make a push for the playoffs in the AFC. Now, I think it's a tough division. Obviously, I think the Chargers. I like the Chargers this year. I think it's hard not to like the Chiefs, not to love your Chiefs. So it's going to be a tough division, but maybe this is our NFL parody 9-8, 8-9 every team season, right?
Yes, exactly. That's what they've historically been.
That's what they want. Okay,
are you looking at this live chat just for fun? Like, I know I'm derailing the show when we're live.
No, it's
bizarre.
Listen, Remy, going off on us here.
Yeah.
He's listen. There's one thing I sure agree with though, right here. Sub to at Backdoor Bets, 100%. My bro Remy, 100% agree with you right there. And if you want to do that, let me describe how you do that. It is joining the book club. The book club, it is our private Discord server, chock full of bets, memes, and a warm, cozy gambling family. If you want to check out the book club or get some more content, well, now we have a free tier. That's right. For literally nothing, you can join our Patreon and get our podcast uploads throughout the week. Full shtick. From there, we've got individualized racing cards for sale, as well as free picks from Speedway Steve too, just so you can get a taste of the action. And finally, if you want to get all those racing picks, it's just $15 a month, or full access to the book club at $25 a month. With a full access, you'll catch all the NFL, MLB, golf, UFC, darts, WNBA, and competitive eating, and then other nonsense we are even finding value on every day. So to do so, all you have to do is head on over to thedgens.net. You can get even more content for free through our Patreon without even paying a penny. That's THEDEGENS.net for even more betting action today. Alrighty.
Tyreek Hill was detained by police today entering the stadium for a driving violation, but Drew Rosenhaus expects him to play today.
Tyreek.
I know.
He's got some Antonio Brown in him, man. This guy's got some Antonio Brown, which, by the way, I mean, Antonio Brown full off the rails. This guy full off the rails. But regardless, let's break this one down. Arch, have you ever been pulled over on the way into work?
No.
Really?
Not to work. Just in general.
Just on the way home.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been pulled over on the way to work. I've been late before. It happens. This something happens. It does not help your performance that day. I'm just going to speak straight out. Being pulled over, spending time having a nice conversation with our best and brightest in blue, having one of those, yeah, that really feels nice, right? Arch on the way into work. Do you think that this may be a time to hop on some Tyreek Hill unders or anything like that? Do you think that?
No, I'm not gonna wade too much into that. I'm not gonna.
You're not gonna. Okay. No. It's okay. Okay.
The book club is asking themselves. Brettley specifically, he wonders if any police officer had their $80 uniform ripped attempting to detain him.
Yeah. Let's see. That's a Scotty Scheffler reference right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, okay. Getting back to the week one picks, you just told me about you're betting the Chargers covering the line, the 3 points. You got the 49ers covering the 3.5, Commanders plus a 3.5, and Cowboys plus 2.5. Now, no real line changes from what you had earlier this week. I'm assuming all those other sides you're betting still, right? You still love them.
I'm going to rerun the whole chart for the book club and then post the most updated thought. I've got some more projections to input and see what happens. Right, yeah.
Very nice. Okay. Well, let's get to some other game picks here. Do you have any other games you want to talk about today? Because I got a couple of games that I want to talk about before I get to some WNBA bets.
Oh, yeah. Lay it on me. What you got right now?
Okay. So we're gonna get kind of, if you can't tell, we've been a little bit spicy already with our bets today. We're gonna continue to go down the world of spice here. Minnesota Vikings at the New York Giants. Maybe not the most spicy game. Actually, this might be the most milquetoast game of all time. Looking at our quarterbacks potentially, there's a lot of milquetoast in this game. But we're off to the races for another season of disappointment in Minnesota. Vikings are favored in this one, an occurrence that may not happen again until November based on their schedule difficulty. Now, I know our guys have found some better value here betting on the Vikings. Instead of betting on this game, they're just going to bet the Vikings to be the last winless team in the NFL. Even the most positive homer would kind of have to agree. The schedule is, leads them to that point. So perhaps this is the right way to play that. But here's the thing. In order for that to hit, they have to start this week with a loss. And for whatever reason, I don't know why, my Vikings team is favored going on the road into New York. And, in the first week of the season, in a coin flip game, you ask me, what's the right side here? Give me the home team money line, getting plus 105 right now. C-Note, your G-Men better not let me down today. Arch, what are your thoughts?
I'm not betting, but I'm kind of leaning the opposite way. I do think Minnesota, I know.
Really?
Well, you look, I changed my nickname for you for this episode. So
I see you changed your nickname for me. It's lay the truth on us then.
I don't love it, but
Okay.
man, I mean, especially road favorite week 1. Oh, don't like it at all. That's why it's just a lean. I think everyone's taking the Vikings. I think it's a pretty public side right here. So that worries me. If it was reversed, if everyone was on the Giants, I would be betting the Vikings, but I think it's close enough. It's going to be a close game. So I'm going to lean right now the Vikings minus the point.
Got it. Leaning survival pool Vikings week 1 pick incoming from Owned MD. Hunter, we're not doing that. We're not it's not happening, homie. I don't love my Vikings that much. I wish I loved my Vikings that much this week. No,
Ooh.
I can't. I can't do that. I can't. Speaking of the survivor pool, we do have the final results of the things that came in on that, right? It looks like we kind of spread it out, or spread ourselves out across a couple different things that we liked. But
Yes.
I think our big like was overall the Bengals, correct?
It's hard not to dislike them. The question is, do you take them now or do you try and bank them for later? And I think after much deliberation, we decided, let's just take it. There's no point in banking them if we're not playing in week 2.
Exactly. You know what? You got to survive for the next week, right? That's what it's
we'll
about.
figure it out. There'll be plenty of times to fade the Vikings, later.
Listen, there's plenty of teams to fade on a week-to-week basis. Hell, look, the Patriots are available still in other games in the future as well. So there will be other opponents to have. All right, here's another game I want to talk about. We talked about this one during the midweek show. It's Eggburger's Cowboys at the Cleveland Browns. Now, I know you like the Cowboys here. Well, I don't want to sink your ship, but I can't help but believe the Cowboys is the right side also. And
no.
They're getting a couple of points here, but yet again, I'm betting the money line on these Cowboys. I'm not going to sink your ship by betting the same thing. I'm going to take the money line here. Arch, I know you took the points. Now that it's Sunday and the games are upon us, do you still like taking the points, or you think getting spicy, taking the money line, any value there that you find?
I still like the points. Take the 2.5. You know me in 2.5. So generally speaking, I want to be on the plus 2.
Yeah, you are. Side. Yeah, you and your 2.5s, 3.5s. That's the Arch making money zone right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I've always referred to it as. I'm trying to pull up to see if I can get an updated money line on this guy right now to see if there's any changes, because I think it was 125 when I was last looking at that guy. It's plus 116. So I think a little dip from what we had previously. I mean, I like this. I like the Cowboys today. Gun to my head, if I didn't know what Vegas had set the lines at between them boys and the Browns, I would have said that the Cowboys would have been favored on the road, or at least that this one would have been a pick 'em. And so with the points, something seems a little bit up. I'm getting what I consider some value, getting a plus line here with the Cowboys. I'm hopping on that one. Yeah. So we'll see if I take Eggburger here. All righty, Arch, what else? You got any other games you want to talk about today? Any other NFL things you want to talk about? I'll quick rattle off my WNBA bets before we head out of here. But anything else you like? You want to hop on?
Not really. Nothing. Like I said, I'm gonna run the full card for the book club, so you still have time to jump in, join, and get in there.
Absolutely.
Not just in the prop bets that Vinny and Egg are putting together are phenomenal. Just like they're breaking everything down. You've got to see it. it's really incredible what those guys are able to achieve with with families and kids.
I know, Arch. I really feel like I'm slacking over here. You very much hold up your end as not having kids, but doing a lot of gambling. These folks are big time overachievers, both having a family and finding the time to gamble, as you said. So.
Discord shows us your activity. So, are you trying to get into CS:GO? Are you trying to play Counter-Strike 2? Are you trying to learn the ins and outs of that sport?
I've given that a little bit of some tries. Here's one thing, Arch. I don't know if you know this, but if you want to watch the live, the live, what's it called, esports of CS, you can do so via the game.
Yeah,
the
actual right through the yeah.
Right. So I was doing a little bit of that, but I figured, hey, maybe I'll learn how to play Dust a little bit. I'll play a little bit of Dust. Have you done any Counter-Strike? Have you played any of that?
I'm a little too slow. My reflexes are a little dulled in my advanced years, and some of the life choices I've made, I think I've made my reflexes to be a little duller than what it maybe should be.
I hear you. Some of the exposure to herbal medicinal drugs that I have out here in Colorado has dulled my senses of taste, smell, and movement as well, Arch. So I can feel that.
Yeah, exactly. I understand where you're coming from. We're very dull here.
We are we sure are. Well, regardless, I mean, I have been looking into playing a little bit of that. Listen, if you want to join the book club and play some CS too, teach us, show me how to do this. Hop on into the book club, show me how to play some games. Arch, any other bets you want to hop on in the NFL today before I change gears to ladies basketball?
But yeah, before you do that, maybe I see Sino was asking about totals. Not a big totals guy in the NFL. I kind of like the Arizona Buffalo game to go over. Let's do that.
Oh, Arizona Buffalo over. Let me pull that guy up and see what we got.
46, right?
Let me see here. I'm trying to find it myself right now. Yeah, it looks like the game. Yep, 40. Actually, you can catch a 45.5. Yeah. There's a rogue 45.5 out there at FanDuel.
I know we've talked a lot about the Bills offense maybe not looking so hot, and maybe Arizona's offense isn't going to look so hot, but I'm really wondering how they're going to be able to stop each other.
This is a good point. And the Bills have found themselves in a lot of shootouts over the years, so this very much could be. Now, this seems like everyone is gearing up for a Bills season of disappointment. Much like I have prepared myself for a season of disappointment as well with my rooting interest football team. Have you? What do you think about that? I know that you like between the Bills and the Dolphins, one of those teams to miss the playoffs. And I know that Phil pleaded a good case that he likes the Bills to be that one team. I mean, you think that obviously you like them to maybe be bad between them and the Dolphins, but realistically, I mean, you think that they're going to start losing some of these close games that they were kind of in some of the sloppier games that they kind of found themselves in over the years?
I think that's the key, right? When we think of bad teams as like the Bills marching in and losing by 21. Oh my God, the Bills are bad. But I think you hit the nail on the head. Sometimes a bad team just doesn't. They lose by 1. They lose by 2. They don't get themselves in the position to kick that field goal to win the game. I think that's probably what might happen with Buffalo, although I'm much more concerned about Miami than I am with Buffalo. Miami, we talked about it in the preseason spectacular, whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Miami has eschewed what every other NFL team would do. Like, okay, so think about the Kansas City Chiefs when they played Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl and their offensive line was terrible. Mahomes couldn't do anything. The Chiefs went out and just nuked the offensive line and built a brand new one. That's typically what teams do. Miami has decided to go the complete opposite direction. We're going to load up on as many skill players as we have and have a bottom tier offensive line. And we think that's going to be okay.
God, that sounds scary.
Yeah,
wasn't Tua like a concussion risk, Arch? I feel like Tua is like a head injury risk. Like I feel like this is a recipe for disaster right here.
Yeah, you couple that with Tua's inability to improvise, right? I think Tua works in the system, but I don't know how much improvisational skills he has in his soul. It really makes me wonder what's the plan here. What's this is going to look like.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting. I definitely am not hopping on Tyreek to score this week 1 though, especially after meeting the copper boppers and stuff on the way in. I think we're maybe all down on the Dolphins a little bit today. All right, real quick, let me get to my WNBA bets.
Yes.
I'm just gonna rattle these off real fast. We got two Costanzas to kind of describe a Costanza to folks. If I think something is going to happen, it is maybe going to happen. But if I'm really convinced that it's going to happen, it ain't happening. It's going the opposite. And that's what our Costanza bet is. Basically, I'm handicapping the lines based on the amount of days rest. Trying to, and this is handicapping totals right here in WNBA basketball. And if that WNBA total that I'm handicapping is 10 points or greater off of what the Vegas number is, Vegas got to know something. And so we're hopping on the other side. With that in mind, the straight plays that we're hopping on today, Sun Sparks under 160, Aces Liberty over 167.5. Now that jives with my never bet a Liberty under, which we have found some value actually in doing more lately. But the Aces, they're finally heating up after the Olympics. Looked really bad and came out really flat first couple of games after the Olympic break. I mean, they had a lot of some players who were contributing to that Olympic win there, so that makes sense. But since then, they have figured it out. They are on a 4-game winning streak. I like this one, the over 167. This is going to be very competitive. Should be a high-scoring game with both of these teams having a lot of prolific scores. Finally, Lynx Mystic over 161. So those are our straight plays. We just risk to win a half unit on those. And the second group that we love, these are our Costanzas. And when I say love, we love doing the opposite of what I believe in on these. And those are Wings, Sky, Dream, Fever. Both of those games are at 169.5 right now, and we're betting the over in both of them. The Sky are going to be without Angel Reese for the rest of the season, having suffered a season-ending wrist injury, unfortunately. That is big sad for me, since I was a Angel Reese truther on winning Rookie of the Year over Caitlin Clark. Not looking good, guys. Not looking good, Bob. So, unfortunately, that one may be dead in the water, but that doesn't mean that we can't continue to make some money. She has been a major defensive contributor to that Sky team, and I think that without her in the mix, there's going to be a lot more overs happening in this, and Vegas seems to agree. So we are hopping again on the over. Costanza, risk to win 1 unit. Wings, Sky, Dream, Fever, both over 169.5.
All right.
You like anything in the WNBA? Are you going to be watching WNBA playoffs or anything like that? It's I will tell you, it's a bit more interesting to watch than a lot of NBA basketball, which I have seen some of over the past few years.
No, I'm not going to watch any of the WNBA. We have football and baseball on. Come on now.
Listen, I know that you have a war room multi-television setup that you're going to have going on. So I want to know if it's going to sneak in on a screen come playoff time.
Probably not.
Probably not. Okay, well, maybe one day WNBA will break through for real within us. But until then, homies, that's all we got for you. So follow us on the podcast on our X at Backdoor Cover X, where we've got all kinds of small sneak peek lines of the book club throughout the week. You can catch us live on Twitch or on YouTube at Backdoor Bets. Join the book club at thedgens.net. And until next week.
Or everyone hates Kansas City's backup quarterback.
Or everyone hates Kansas City's backupquarterback.com. It's not that. Look up who the backup quarterback is. Spell it. Their real name. That's a real thing. That's a real website that we actually bought the domain to. I'm sure the ICANN or whoever distributes those web addresses was like, oh yeah, this one, we saw this one coming from miles away. This one, everyone hates Kansas City's backup quarterback. We need that one. But hop on over to thedgens.net, join the book club, and until next week, you stay classy, muchachos.